All right, what's up, Gamecock Nation? We are back with Corey Rucker, a Garnet Trust exclusive interview. Corey, we talked to you a few months ago. I guess it's been a little longer than that now, actually, when you had just arrived at South Carolina. Corey, we appreciate you doing this again, man. How's everything going with you? How you doing today?
It's been pretty good, just trying to take it one day at a time.
Yeah, obviously, when we talked to you before, you were kind of getting settled in at South Carolina. You were getting ready for, I guess it was probably summer workouts at the time and looking ahead to the season. It's not been, I'm sure, what you hoped it would be because of the injury, but how have you been able to kind of keep everything on the up and up as far as just staying high, staying mentally ready, dealing with what was an unfortunate situation there with the injury?
I'd say really just the one thing that kind of gives me hope is to know that I got next year and I don't lose this season, so I'll get it back on the back end if I need it. So that kind of gives me hope just to know that I got that going for me. And I just say support from my position group. Everybody's been trying to lift me up and just let me know everything all good, and I'm gonna come back stronger.
Yeah, Corey, it seems like y'all have a kind of pretty special little thing going with that position group, even with it being, some guys that have been there for a long time, but some guys that, Juice is a newcomer this year. You're a newcomer. I couldn't help but notice when you scored that touchdown. Juice, I know you talked about this, I think, in the media interview, but Juice is like running down there like he's covering a kickoff or something to come celebrate with you and kind of just be a part of that moment. What has that meant, in that very moment, but just big picture to kind of get to know these guys and become brothers with them and then kind of support each other, like you said?
Yeah, I think it's been really big. Me and Juice, we live together and we spent a lot of time together this summer just working out in the off season. And I just say kind of the experiences we shared and like the goals that we've talked about, we kind of both we got the same we want to have the same outcome from this game. So just to talk about the success that we wanted to have and me being held back at first and then finally being able to come in and play, I think it really brings him a lot of excitement to see me doing what I was able to do. And then he's been playing all season. He's had some good games, and I've been really excited for him. And every time we just come back to the house and just talk, I think we just kind of feed off, like what we see out there, and like just really our plan moving forward in the future.
Definitely, definitely. So, obviously, you had the surgery. It was, you announced that you're going to miss the rest of the year, and I know it seems like it's just kind of been a lingering thing. I know, I guess y'all hoped maybe it would just be a rehab thing, but you did have the surgery. So, how has that been? I know it's still kind of fresh, but what's kind of the next step? And do you feel like the first step of the progression from the surgery has been going as smooth as you would like for it to?
Um, I'd say so because just right now it's really just giving it time. I can't put any weight on my foot for a while, so I just gotta wait until probably like another month or so before I be able to start trying to put weight and doing exercise and things to try to start building back strength in my foot and my leg. So right now it's just playing a waiting game.
Is that hard for you? Like, I feel like you are, I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna pretend I know you like that, but just what I've seen on social media, you seem like a go-getter. You have your hand in a lot of different things. How difficult is that for you, to just have to wait, like you said?
Yeah, I mean, it is really tough just because I love to be outside, move around, and when I'm limited to the things that I'm able to do, like right now, I got to try to find a new hobby because all of my hobbies, I have to be able to move around and do them. So right now, I'm trying to find something else to get into that I can do just sitting in my room because that's where I'm just spending most of my time. So that's kind of a bummer, just not being able to be as mobile as I'm used to. But I mean, I guess it's just part of it.
Definitely, so do they have you hooked up with one of those little scooters at this point,
I
or
do
what's the
got a
process
scooter.
look like?
Yeah,
Scooter?
I got a scooter.
Um, ha has this happened to you before? Like, have you dealt with an injury that has been to this extent before, or is this kind of a first time?
This is the first time I've ever had to miss a game because of an injury.
Wow. So big adjustment.
Huge.
Yeah, obviously. So you're hanging in there, man, trying to keep your head up. Obviously, we talked to you before about some of your hobbies and bowling, and now we've seen on social media photography. Um, how did the photography thing come about, and how fun has that been to sort of dive into that at a new place where you have maybe some new photo opportunities here in Columbia?
Yeah, well, I was just really bored this summer, and you know, bowling's more of like I'd say bowling's more of like it's a sport to me now more than a hobby. But I just got really bored one day and I felt like I should just go buy a camera because my mom and my auntie are both photographers and I would pick up their camera here and there, and just kind of take off with it. And they told me that I was pretty good at it. So I figured I'd get my own and I just started going around taking shots. And one day Justin King replied and he told me, it was like, you're really good with the camera. Like you should really stick to it. So I've just been, going around and trying to see what I can do.
Are you looking for an internship? Like maybe we can get you hooked up on Gamecock Central this spring. And do you want to shoot some sports as well, or is it more you in the nature side, or what's kind of the plan there?
It started out just kind of nature side, but I did shoot 2 soccer games. I shot the game versus Texas A&M and the game versus Mizzou. So I started to transition into sports, and then I had surgery, so I've been kind of
Mhm.
sidelined by that. But I think I really enjoy shooting sports a little bit more than nature. But like I would take shots in pregame too at a couple of our games. So I really like the sports side of things, but I mean I guess I'm just kind of open to all of it though.
Yeah, how was that shooting soccer? Do you know anything about soccer? Like I feel like growing up, I feel like at least my friends, it was like, all right, you're a soccer fan or you're not a soccer fan. And if it's like you're a football fan or a soccer fan, you're a soccer fan or a baseball fan. Did you know anything about soccer? Is that something you follow as well?
I didn't know anything about soccer until I got to Arkansas State. A lot of my
Mhm.
friends there played soccer, so after just getting close with them, I started trying to learn a little bit about their game, and I would go watch them all the time. Like the more I watched, the more I was impressed with soccer players because I don't know how they do it. So I got a lot of respect for soccer players. So that's kind of where I got the idea to kind of go want to shoot their game just because I love the way they. I mean, they're probably the most talented people on the planet, to be honest. So I just wanted to go shoot some of their games.
Yeah, great athletes, and just the fact that you can't use your hands.
Right.
When you consider, I mean, think about it. Every single other sport, your hand-eye coordination is maybe the single biggest thing involved in any of it. Have you played any soccer, like just goofing off since you watched them?
Yeah, I've tried. Like we would go in the indoor late nights and try to kick the ball into the net, and I'm awful. Like it's extremely hard.
Oh man, yeah. Is that humbling, considering you're like good at everything else on the
Oh
planet?
yeah, very, very.
I bet, man. I bet. So we talked food last time. I know you were settling into the Columbia food scene. I can't even remember what all you were telling us about back then. But any new favorites, any new meals you've cooked with Kristen, or any new restaurants that you've been in on lately?
Um, right now I don't have a particular one. Like once school started, I kind of slowed down and I didn't really get a chance to go explore and find a lot of places. But I am in a couple hospitality classes, and we talk about like certain restaurants and kind of dig into that industry. So
Mhm.
our teachers list a lot of them. I really haven't had a chance to go check out some of them, but I hear there are a lot of places, not exactly just close right in Columbia, but either like 15 minutes here or there that I should go try.
Yeah, definitely, man. Lots of options, I think, around here, and kind of a little bit of everything, depending on what you're looking for. Again, as y'all see, we're joined here by Corey Rucker, another Garnet Trust exclusive interview. Um, Corey, what have you thought of the season? Have you been able to kind of at least get some mental reps? Like how much are you able to dial in and kind of I know there's probably not much good to take of your situation. You'd rather be on the field, obviously. That's a given. But have you been able to kind of use this as an opportunity to kind of get a feel for this program, get a feel for how these coaches operate, and get a feel for what is expected in that wide receiver room to kind of build on what you want to do moving forward next year?
Yeah, I think it is just because it gives me an opportunity to kind of learn without being, I say, at fault. So I get a chance to see other people make mistakes and do things and kind of know how to counteract or how to move around certain situations just within this program. With it being my first year here, and I didn't get a spring, so just coming in the summer, being dropped right into camp, and I didn't even get to go through the whole camp. So just being
Mhm.
able to see other guys do things, be able to watch and kind of take in and know like when I get back these are the things that I can and can't do, and just how I would fit into this program.
I know when you first committed to South Carolina and then enrolled, you talked about the relationship with Coach Stepp, and just it seemed like a big part of your decision. How has that relationship kind of continued and built over these months? And what is it like just on day to day to learn from a guy like Coach Step?
Yeah, he was definitely one of the leading factors in me choosing this place. And I say, a lot of times you see players get hurt and they kind of turn into ghosts. And I say, in some aspects, I'll kind of become a ghost. But Coach Step always texts me, check in on me. Like even when I'm in a meeting room, he'll call me out and make sure I'm still locked and dialed in, just to make sure I'm good with everything. And he don't really let me just, I say, fall into a slump or anything. But just me and him, the relationship we have, being around his kids and his wife, like you feel like you're a part of their family. So I say he's definitely a guy that you want to go play for. And I run through a brick wall for him. I take a bullet for him. I love Coach Step to death. But just I say his encouragement every day and just being a person more than a coach to me.
So Corey, obviously, you said earlier you're looking for new hobbies. Are there anything that's on your radar? Anything that's maybe piqued your interest that we might be diving into next?
Um, I might tangle into graphic design a little bit just to see if I'm any good at it. I'm really impatient though, so I don't want to start messing up and then just throw it away. But I feel like graphic design would be something really cool to start doing.
What I guess about that caught your attention? Anything that just spurred it?
I think a lot of times I'm just scrolling on Instagram and Twitter. I see graphics and I really like them. And a lot of times when I wanted graphics, I have to ask somebody to make them and I have to wait on them and be impatient. So I think it'd be really cool to be able to make my own graphics.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. You can start a recruiting industry thing as well. There's always guys out there wanting top fives and top
Yeah,
threes and commit graphics and all that stuff. I guess it seems like you kind your brain is always kind of on to the next thing, always on the move. I guess as far as the academic side at South Carolina, do you feel like you've gotten settled in with all that stuff and feel comfortable and just has it been what you thought it would be coming in?
yeah, it has. But I say the only frustrating thing for me is just personally, like I've been all over the place trying to figure out exactly what I want to do, just because my mind is always a million places. So I've been kind of, and I mean, I probably changed my major twice, and I'm just really trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. So that gets kind of frustrating when you start to take classes, like, I don't really know if I want to go in this direction. So I have to try to start going the other way. And I'm starting to get to a point where it's getting close to graduation. So I kind of got to stick with one thing. But luckily, I do have 3 years left. So I can graduate and then just start a second degree plan and just kind of when I figure out exactly what I want to do.
So what is the major right now?
Right now, it's interdisciplinary studies. So I'm really open. Right now, I'm in the hospitality field of things, but I don't think I really like customer service that much. So I probably try to find something else to get into.
Okay, yeah. Well, like you said, man, you can always graduate in whatever you're close to graduating in, and then take a step from there and sort of move on to something else. I'm thinking, and I know I keep going back to the restaurant thing, but I think we need a Corey Rucker NIL. Basically, you ever watched Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives where the
Yeah.
guy goes around to the different restaurants? Like, I think we need you going around Columbia, just kind of bringing your personality and introducing us every week to a new dish and just giving your opinion, maybe interviewing the chef or something. Maybe get a sponsor for it as well. Like I'm thinking that's something that Garnet Trust should be very interested in sponsoring.
Yeah, that doesn't sound bad at all.
Probably get some free food out of it as well.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe we can make that happen, Corey. I guess what through everything you've been through here so far, what's it been like to connect with the fans a little bit? I know social media now it makes that connection for the good or the bad. Fans can give their opinion on everything now. Um, has that helped you at all or hurt you at all as far as just when the injury happened, kind of having some people, even if you don't know them, maybe you'll never meet them, but just being like, hey, Corey, you got this. It's going to be okay and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely been a help. Just to come out in pregame and have fans talk to you from the stands or kind of support and let you know that they're on your side and you're gonna be good when you come back. I'd say, especially on Twitter too, like when I posted that I was having surgery, just the amount of people that was in the comments, replies, just texting me, sending me wishes. So I'd say it's definitely a good thing to be able to connect with them, and they're all loving. And I mean, I really appreciate them for that, just to be able to lift me up.
What was that like, entering Williams-Brice Stadium the first time, seeing the fans everywhere, the atmosphere, the lights? I think the previous interview we talked about, like, what that was gonna be like, but what was that like to actually run out to 2001, the tunnel, all that good stuff?
It was a really surreal feeling because when I was being recruited, I saw it on all the videos, and you could almost feel like you was there. And just finally being in it, it was just absolutely crazy, especially the first time to just see the Sandstorm intro, and then when they played, I think it was right at halftime when they cut all the lights red, and then they played the remix to
Mhm.
Sandstorm. That was just absolutely crazy. So that's probably my favorite thing about being on Williams Bryce is when they play the remix.
Yeah, the lights, man, you never saw it before the lights, but the lights they've kinda taken the atmosphere, I think, to another level, so that's been fun, I'm sure awesome for you all to be a part of that. I know you talked about this in the press conference you did, I think it was, like, right after the touchdown catch, but, for people who didn't see it, I thought it was interesting, you said you were running, and you looked back, and you didn't really, I guess, realize off the bat that the ball was in the air. Um, what is that like in front of, like, thousands of people kinda being in the dark for a moment and just seeing the sliver of a football coming your way?
I mean, it was really crazy because coming back that week of practice, I probably dropped at least 10 balls. Like my hands were not working at all. So I slightly had lost a little bit of confidence because I wasn't catching the ball how I usually was. And pregame, I think a ball went right by my face, didn't even see it. And like it looked like I was just out, it looked like I didn't belong out there. And then to get in the game, I had a couple plays in the drive before that. So the nerves was gone, but just seeing
Mhm.
like when I finally saw it, I was like, "There's no way I'm about to catch this," because it came into my vision so late. But I'd say it was probably just muscle memory. The ball hit my. I bobbled it a little bit, but finally got my hands on it and just tucked it in and just started running. But I'd say in that moment, like I was just so shocked that I caught the ball because I had dropped so many this week. Like I started to run towards a defender versus running away from him, and that's the guy that kind of pulled me down right in the end zone. But it's just really crazy though.
Yeah, so you score the touchdown. Had you been planning to do the rock star, thing, or did you say,
I've
"Oh, I
been
gotta do this," or it just hit?
I had been planning that for years. Like I did it once my true freshman year at Arkansas State. I did it once in the end zone, but I had never got back around to it. And like I was telling myself before the season, like that was gonna be my signature celebration. And I scored, and I was sitting there looking at the ref, and I saw Juice coming down. And I jumped over Juice, and then it just hit me. It was like do the air guitar, and then I just started doing it.
Were you surprised to see Juice flying, onto the field?
Yes, it was crazy because after I'm sitting there talking to Juice, and all I see is the ref come grab him, and I was just like, "Oh my god, they probably threw a flag or something. They're gonna call it back." And then when you go back and watch it on film, it's even crazier because like he is like 5 yards off the sideline, helmet in his hand, just jumping up and down. It is hilarious.
Oh, man. But a very genuine moment. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like the ref probably, because it's late in the game, the ref's probably like he made a good gut feeling call there probably to be like, "All right, this is some genuine happiness for his teammate. He's not bothering anybody coming off the sideline." I think technically that probably is a penalty, but, I think it was such a genuine, like, college football moment. Hopefully, they were like, "All right, man, this is fine. This is a great moment." Had to be a great moment for you, especially considering, what else has happened this season, I would imagine.
Yeah, we actually got a picture of that frame right there in our living room of the moment we shared right there after the touchdown.
That is awesome. That is awesome, man. Corey, I know you probably got a lot going on, so we're gonna let you get out of here soon. Final thing, I guess, what's the next step? I know you talked about it a little bit earlier, but how quickly can you sort of start to put some weight on that foot, and how I guess what is the first step as far as like the rehab process for you moving forward?
I'd probably just say I should be back starting to build strength in January or probably late December, early January. I'll probably start back putting weight on my foot and doing a couple rehab exercises, but I fully anticipate to be back rolling for spring ball whenever it rolls around.
What can fans expect from Corey and Juice on the field at the same time potentially next year, man?
Oh, I think that'll probably be a crazy duo. We'll probably fight over who gets certain routes and try to fight for the ball, but you could definitely expect a lot of energy and excitement.
Yeah, can't wait. He is Corey Rucker, South Carolina wide receiver, originally a transfer from Arkansas State. This is a Garnet Trust interview, Corey. As always, man, we appreciate you sharing some time, sharing your thoughts, your stories, and as always, we wish you luck. Okay.
Appreciate it.